When did the world last make sense to you? I'm fielding this out as a question to everybody and anybody who happens upon this. When did it last make sense to you? Can you even remember? I'm not sure that I can. I would say round about somewhere between 2006 and 2013, most things still made sense. You could apply a certain level of rationale to it. Definitely not now. A lot of people will immediately post, oh, well, it's a big, massive conspiracy. And I thought, no, it fucking isn't. Such coordination would require an effort far beyond the capacity of these idiots. There are certain goals, there are certain desires, but there's no plan. Because plans, by their very nature, on such large scales, tend to crash and burn. That can go into a whole new topic, because belief that there's a plan is ironically more successful than an actual plan. But I'm digressing. So back to the question. For you, or any of you, when did the world last make sense? I have a feeling for a lot of people you're going to have a hard time pinpointing exactly when that was. It's certainly at least a few years. Maybe a couple of decades for some of you. It's going to vary at an individual level depending on where you live, the community, and the level of information you have access to. Of course, to some extent, it's always been a bit on the nutty side. But you could at least come up with some rationale. Belief, or lack of belief. Political views, extreme political views. Mental illness. Slow change of social norms. There was a rationality behind it. It's something you could latch onto. At the moment, certainly here in Blighty, there isn't much left to latch onto. Politically speaking, judicially speaking, there just seems to be around a lot of it. Not all of it, but a lot of it. Enough to raise a few eyebrows and raise a few questions. Early release of potentially dangerous criminals. Terrorists released. Rapists released. Nonces released. People jailed for social media posts and comments. People being arrested for matters of concern or simple sentences. Nonces being given extreme leniency. And I have a feeling that's got something to do with whether or not they believe in God. There just seems to be some bizarre connection there. I'm trying to make sense of it all. So, blackmail makes sense. Right? Treason makes sense. Insanity makes sense. And some combination of the above makes sense. The scale of it all, however, not so much. I mean, to speculate on that, you would be going into the realm of a bit on the more out there sort of thing. Like, okay, has somebody threatened to, quote unquote, Londo Malari the UK unless certain demands are met? Which, by the way, is extremely unlikely. As in, 0.00000001 on the probability scale. But it does invite speculation, doesn't it? Even silent speculation. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to close this. We're going back to that original question. When was the last time the world seemed to make any kind of sense to you? When was it? And put your thoughts, answer that one in the comments below. And when I get around to another vid, I'll see you in that next one.